You know, I really shouldn't be surprised at what wound up happening last night, seeing as how Corning's pretty much owned Horseheads for my entire life. I mean, last year was the first time, to my recollection, that Horseheads actually beat Corning. And I remember back when we played, back when it was Corning East that we had to play. So yeah, not good. So with a score of 20-7, the Corning Hawks defeated the Blue Raiders. Not really how a lot of people wanted that to play out, considering that last night was senior night. That's the last home game that those boys are ever going to have. And I gotta say, I'm pretty bummed for them. If it makes you guys feel any better, and keep in mind, really, I'm talking to the seniors, but really, I mean, the whole team, this could probably the whole team, but I'm speaking directly at the seniors. If it makes you feel any better, when I was at Horseheads, we lost my senior game too. It was against Binghamton. So, the point is, you're not alone. So I'm trying to sympathize here, because it happened to me. And my fellow seniors as well. So, I was going to plan on doing this anyway, but considering that it was senior night, this Blue Hammer Award goes to the seniors. They deserve it. This was their night. Unfortunately, it just ended in a manner that probably really wasn't, good. But if there's one thing that I've learned, it's that don't let nights like what happened define you. You guys are seniors. Actually, I should probably iterate, this is obviously my low, if you couldn't already tell. But my high is I did get to go watch the game with my dad. And it was a lot of fun. I saw a lot of people. It was great. And, my act of kindness was yesterday I promised I had to give my mom something. And so I gave it to her. Because it involves a certain mom food that she's making today. And I can't wait to show you guys what it is on social media. It's going to be awesome. So, let's get back to what I was talking about. Oh, happy Saturday, everyone. So, I mentioned this last year when Horseheads lost the sectional title to UE. But for the seniors, this should be the best year of your lives, regardless of how successful you are in your sport. Like, you guys are the veritable big men on campus. I mean, normally I would say big, oh, sorry, that was my computer updating. You guys, I would say men and women, but this is a boys' sport, so for the sake of the fact I'm talking about football, there you go. But yeah, so if you're a senior girl and you haven't been watching this, you're a veritable big lady on campus too. There you go. The point is, you're seniors. You paid your dues. You have so much to look forward to for the rest of this year. You got senior prom. That's going to be coming up in I had my senior prom. When I was at Horseheads, I had my senior prom in March. I think they have those in March. Or maybe May, somewhere in that area. Yeah, actually, for junior prom for me, it was in May. That was the day after I took the SATs. That was horrible. And, wait, was it the PSATs or did I take the SATs? No, it was the SATs. Was it? Yeah, it was. No, actually, it was the PSATs. That's when it was. I took the SATs my senior year, and then I took, again, when I was at Trinity-Pawling. I'm getting sidetracked now. And also, if it makes you any better, my other alma mater, Trinity-Pawling, isn't really doing that well in football either. Actually, I don't think they are. Let me look it up real fast. Let's see. Yeah, they're not really doing so well either. In fact, they're actually doing worse than Horseheads. So, it's actually kind of fitting. Both of my alma maters aren't doing very well in football. Maybe that's why there's like a certain level of gloom in the air or something. I don't know. Where was I? So, you guys are seniors. You've got the whole rest of this year to look forward to. Again, senior prom's coming up. Senior trip. When I was at Horseheads, the senior trip was always to Washington, D.C. I don't know if you guys still do that. I don't know if they still do that, but if they do, hey, the senior trip, you got that to look forward to. So wherever you're going, most likely Washington, D.C. But the point is, you've got that to look forward to, and that's gonna be fun. I remember I had a lot of fun on my senior trip. It was, we got a lot of seeing all these stuff, a lot of important monuments and everything. It was great. Loved it. So if you guys are going on the senior trip, you got that to look forward to. If depending on what year it is, if you guys are in choir or in band, you're going to go on, the choir trip or the band trip, depending on what year it is. Because when I was at Horseheads, the choir and band alternated years to when they got to go on their respective trips. So because I was in choir, my sophomore year we went to Boston. We would have gone to New Orleans, but Hurricane Katrina happened. Not good. So we wanted to go to Boston. My senior year we went to Cedar Point. That was awesome. Honestly, that should be the de facto place we all go to, is Cedar Point. Definitely a lot closer than Disney World. Oh yeah, right. The band people go to Disney World every year. Lucky them. Although, I guarantee you Cedar Point's at least cheaper. And, let's be honest, you go to Disney World because you want to be surrounded by the magic of Disney. The rides are above average, let's say. Meanwhile, you go to Cedar Point, it's called America's Roller Coaster. There you go. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. The point is, this senior class has so much to look forward to. And, before the game, they have, the opening ceremonies for, the senior football players and cheerleaders. And, I'm just watching these, young men and women, getting ready to face the future. And regardless of how last night would wind up going, I could definitely leave thinking when they graduate, they're going to be ready to take on the world. So, yeah, if any seniors out there are looking for sage advice, or seniors or Horseheads, and really this would apply to seniors and PGs at Trinity-Pawling too, but I'm mostly talking about Horseheads right now, probably because I was at the game. Plus, Trinity-Pawling has their own Blue Hammer Award. So, where do you think I got the idea from? So basically, if you're a senior at Horseheads or Trinity-Pawling or whatever, you've got a lot to look forward to. Worst case scenario, you're just going to remember this as just one rough evening that hopefully did not involve any alcohol. Kids, if you're under the age of 21, don't drink, okay? I'm serious. Don't drink. Alcohol is bad for you when you're under the age of 21. Wow, I'm getting sidetracked. So, to the seniors out there, I should probably save this until, however far you get into the playoffs, the sectional playoffs. But if nothing else, you should commend yourselves for how far you've come. I just noticed how shiny it is coming from the side. I remember, when I was a freshman, heading into the second new school I'd ever been to. I say second. I've been to different schools in the past, throughout, daycare, pre-K, kindergarten, all those things. But my point is, I remember going to Horseheads, and I was nervous. I was scared. You know, I had no idea what was going on, just like any freshman does. But luckily, you know, I mean, there were other upperclassmen, you know, sophomores and juniors that did this, but it was the seniors' job to make the environment. I mean, let's be honest, who really likes going to school? I mean, I guarantee you, every senior who's ever been in Horseheads, even the seniors right now, are thinking, good Lord, when will this all end so I can get out of here? Because trust me, they were thinking that back when I was there too. And they still try to make the environment, you know, inviting, a warm place where it may not be perfect, but you know what? You can make it better if you really try. And that's what I mean, I have a whole series of videos in December to talk about my experience. Trust me, that's going to be an emotional roller coaster. But I still at least tried to, you know, make the best of what was going on. And I can tell you, all 4 years I was at Horseheads, I met some extraordinary men and women who I know to this very day. Some of them were my teachers. Some of them were fellow classmates of mine. And, you know, sometimes you keep in touch. Sometimes you get to see them. It's great. It's great to reminisce, do all that stuff. It's great. And guess what? When I was a senior, I was ready to do that for, you know, the underclassmen, you know, the freshmen, the sophomores. I was ready to be a leader, you know? And if nothing else, this is, like, that's ultimately what football, that's why I love football. Well, really, any sports in general are good for one thing and one thing only. Whether you realize it or not, they build a lot of character. Because if you work hard doing one of the toughest sports you can do, which is football, then you can easily apply that hard work and dedication to other aspects of your life. Like school, for instance. Remember, seniors, you may be graduating, you know, in June, but you still have schoolwork to do. So, you know, listen to your do what your teachers tell you, please. I listened to what my teachers told me, and, you know, I got out of there just fine. Trust me. Just ask any teacher at Horseheads, or Trinity-Pawling for that matter, who's still there, who remembers when I was there, you know? They'll tell you that, you know, don't get me wrong, I wasn't perfect, but, you know, I still tried hard. Still did my work. I still put in the effort. You know, I graduated from high school, and I get to say that now. And soon you guys are going to be able to do that too. Man, this is actually kind of bringing up a little bit of emotions for me. Not going to lie. It's kind of nice to think about stuff like this. So, in terms of what's going on, you know, today, not much. I'm just going to hang out here for a while. Then I'm going to see my folks at around 3, 4 o'clock, and we're all going to go to church as a family. We're going to go out to dinner as a family. And then we'll hang out at my folks' place and, you know, watch TV, or maybe I'll bring my computer so I can activate Netflix. You know, honestly, it feels like just a simple weekend where, you know, the best way that I could unwind is just spend the time with family. Which reminds me, seniors, no matter who you are, what school you go to, it's very likely that this will be the last year you're with your family, you know, before you go to college, if you decide to go to college. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that you decide to go to college. I was going through a lot even during my senior year. And I feel like I personally could have done a bit better at being appreciative of the people in my life who loved me. You know, my mom, my dad, my brother, my grandparents, you know, everyone. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still loved and appreciated, the love and support they gave me. Of course I did. But I still felt like I could have done a better job with that. So, seniors, if you have one job to do before you go take on the real world, let your folks, let your family know that you care. Spend time with them. Give them a hug, give them a kiss, do something. It can be as simple as, let's be honest, smartphones are everywhere. I'm sure a lot of seniors have smartphones. Like, call your mom and tell her that you love her. Call your dad and tell him that you love him. Call, if you have living grandparents, call them. Tell your family that you love them. And obviously you don't need to do that every day, but the more often you do it, the better. And I can tell you for a fact, I really didn't do a great job with that myself. But I'll get into that later in December, trust me. But for now, I can say, seniors, you might have lost last night, but you made it to where you are right now. And that's actually worth a lot more than a simple W you would get if you won. I can assure you of that. So I hope y'all liked this video, and if you did, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. Again, to the seniors, this Blue Hammer Award goes to you guys. As always, I'm very humbled to make this video for all of you guys who are watching. Enjoy for today, and hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Saturday. And remember, if you guys want to talk, which I'm always going to be here to let me know. Always back. Take care and make good choices. In the words of a certain teacher I had at Horseheads, make good choices.